What it do, y'all, and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I am very excited to bring you guys a 3 looks 1 palette with the Hallobean palette, which is a collaboration between Shroud Cosmetics and BattyBean. If you're a fan of this brand, then you will know that last year they came out with the first version of this collaboration, and that was the It's Frickin' Bats palettes. Of course, I have that palette as well, along with one other palette from their brand, which is their pastel palette. I can't think of the name right now, but regardless, I knew as soon as they were sneak peeking that this honestly was going to be with BattyBean. I just knew, and I knew that because it was going to be with her, I had to pick it up. And so I did go ahead and pick this palette up, and yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and do what I normally do. I'm going to give you guys description of the product. I'm going to give you guys swatches of the product, comparisons if I can give you any, which I will be comparing this to the It's Frickin' Bats palette. The other one that I have, which is the pastel palette, there's no reason to compare them, so I'm not going to even bother. And then I will jump into the 3 looks that I will be showcasing to you guys, and then at the very end I will be giving you guys a review, very quick review of my current thoughts. Typically my current thoughts are pretty much they're my thoughts, but yeah, in the event that you were interested in hearing any of those parts, of course I will have timestamps down below. You can also always just scroll across the time bar to see any different clip that you're interested in. And yeah, let's just go ahead and get into it. Alrighty, so just very quickly, I want to showcase the pins in the event that you haven't seen them. There are 3 different pins, and she came out with a pin set in her first collaboration and now in this one, and it's really cute. There's a coffin, there's the BattyBean logo, and then there is also a pumpkin that's like in a carrier thing. It's really cute. I absolutely love it, and yeah, I just am really happy I got this. I didn't think I bought the bundle, but super excited to have the bundle nonetheless. Now when we get into the palette, as always, on the top it always says hello friends. That's one of the first things that BattyBean says in all of her videos, and I'm very happy and excited to see all of this stuff. So this palette has a 12-month shelf life. It is vegan, cruelty free, and the packaging is of course recyclable. It has 0.47 ounces or 13.6 grams of product, and there are also, if you want to break down by each shadow, it is 0.005 ounces or 1.5 grams of product in each pan. And she has a little description on the back, so I just want to go ahead and talk about it. It says, hello friends, I'm so excited for you to join in on the strange and unusual fun with my grungy Halloween palette. It is the perfect combination of my original collaboration with Shroud, It's Frickin' Bats palette. You're going to have such a treat creating an autumnal spooky dream, and I can't wait to see where your artistry takes you. Happy haunting babes, BattyBean. And I think that is like the epiphany of BattyBean. She loves Halloween, she loves spooky season, and it just makes sense. It just makes sense. So yeah, that's pretty much that on the product details. Nothing much. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the B-roll that I will be showing you guys there. And now I'm just going to go ahead and get into the comparison swatches between this palette. I will also be swatching the palette, of course, by itself, and then I'll be comparing this with her first collaboration in the event that you want to see that comparison. And yeah, then we will be getting into the tutorial. So let's just get to it. Alrighty guys, so it is now time for the swatches, and as you can see, we are definitely swatching the BattyBean and Shroud collaboration, which is Hallobean. This is the packaging, and this is the inside. So as I always do, what I'm going to do is swatch row by row by row. In these swatches, I'm only going to do 1 swipe swatches as long as I pick up enough product. If I don't, then I will go ahead and go back. Otherwise, I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to speed this up just a tad bit, and I'm going to put some music in the background. Alrighty guys, so these are the two palettes that we are going to be comparing. This one right here is the original one, which is the It's Frickin' Bats palette, and this one over here is the Hallobean palette. Now in camera, I think the only thing that you can justifiably even kind of say could be halfway similar are these two and then the two greens. In person, you can clearly see a difference, but as always, I like to swatch them just in case so that you guys can see what I see in the camera. So let's go ahead and start off with the two greens. First, I'm gonna do It's Showtime, and then I'm gonna do Trappa. So as you can see, this is It's Showtime. It's definitely more of a lime green, whereas Trappa is definitely more of like a mustardy yellow based green. And then I'm just going to go ahead and swatch the other two shades. Okay, so now I'm going to compare Ghastly and Dirty to each other. They both, like I said, look completely different in person, but I just want to make sure you guys can see the difference. And now you guys can see Ghastly looks a lot more blue based, whereas Derpa looks like a dark purple. So yeah, those are the comparison swatches that I feel I need to make. Definitely let me know down below if you see something that you want me to swatch. I definitely am feel free to do that. Otherwise, I did forget to say at the very beginning, in front of me I do have natural lighting, and behind me I also do have my room ceiling light. But yeah, other than that, let's just go ahead and get into the tutorials. Alrighty guys, so I'm playing a little bit with my background and my lighting setup, so do apologize for that, but let's just go ahead and dive on in. I did prime my eyes. Today I'm using the Kaleidos primer, and that will make more sense. Hopefully by the time this video goes up, that video had been up as well. I'm going to go into the shade Crypt with the BK Beauty Angie and Hot and Flashy collaboration brush in A503. I finally got my brush set, and so I figured I would use these to stop using all of my other brushes so I can wash those and also get my opinions on these brushes. Alrighty, next what I'm gonna do is take the A504 from the same brush collection, and I'm gonna go into the shade Wicked. And because this brush is so small, I can really be precise in the location that I want it to really be pigmented, and then I can also do a really good job at blending as well. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to blend this directly into my crease and blend it into the Crypt shade. Alrighty, so now the crease is done. Let's get into the lid shade. I'm going to take the A505 and go into Black Flame. And then last but certainly not least, I'm going to be taking the A502 brush, and I'm going to be going into Ghoulish just to put that in my inner corner, and then also just bring it back a little bit of that green, because Black Flame really pulled purple on my lid in this look. As for my waterline, I'm using one of the new Kaleidos liners. Like I said, this video hopefully will be up before this one that I'm filming right now. So I'm using this in my waterline. Lashes today, I'm actually using the ones from Glamlight, and these are the Taco Lashes in Al Pastor. So I'm going to put that one on, and then in my tight line, it's just my normal black liner from LA Girl. So I'm going to do all of that off camera really quickly, and then I will come back to give you guys some of the fun details of my makeup look. Alrighty guys, so this is the finished look. Alrighty, so like I said, this is the finished first look, and per usual, I'm living. I am so excited to see all of the looks that I'm going to be playing with this baby. But let's get into the fancy parts of my face. Like I said, I have the Glamlight lashes in Al Pastor. In my waterline, I told you guys I was using one of the Kaleidos liners, but I didn't say the shade. So it is in the shade Solaris. It is the one shade that I actually did not use in a tutorial for my Caladios video. On my lips, I have the Huda Beauty Gold Digger lipstick, and then on my cheeks, I actually have two shades from the Hourglass palette that I decided to pick up. And this is the actual inside of the Tiger palette. So this really is the Tiger palette. So I am testing this out. Once again, I am trying my absolute best to get through all of the face palettes. But that said, let's go ahead and get into look number 2. Listen, Linda, okay, today has been a struggle, but I'm very, very happy to be in front of you guys to look number 2. I've already got my eye primed, and today I am actually using the Caladios primer. If you want to see this primer in action with the other new Caladios products that I got, just check out my previous video. It would have already been up, and I will try my absolute best to link it down below. Anyways, today, like I said, I have the primer on. I'm going to go in with the A503 from BK Beauty, and I am going to go into the shade Losers Club. I really thought this would be a beautiful crease and kind of honestly all over eye color, and it truly is. I also did go ahead and set my brow bone highlight with my Project Pan shade, so definitely check out that video in the event that you're interested. And I will also, as always, have everything listed down below, as always, including my full base and cheek products. So I just fluff that all in the crease, outer V, everywhere pretty much. And then what I'm gonna do is take the A502, which is just a slightly smaller blending brush, and I am going to go into the shade Ghastly or Ghostly. No, it has to be Ghastly because it's an A. So I'm going to go into that shade. And this brush is really, really cool because it has a flat side, but it also has like the blending kind of tip. So I'm just going to use that just to pack this shade in that outer V, and to also blend in my crease, lower lash line, all of the above. This is pretty much going to be my actual crease color. Okay, so really deepened out this look nicely, and I also think it kind of adds a little bit of mystery to it because it kind of looks blue, but it kind of doesn't. I really, really like it. Then what I'm gonna do is take the A505 from the same collection, and I'm gonna go into Woods Borrow, which is this really pretty kind of mid-tone orangey shimmer. And I'm just going to take this. I did not add any fixing spray to my brush, nor do I have any glitter glue on my lid, but I'm just going to apply this directly from the brush. And then last shadows going on my eyes today, I'm going to be using their 504 brush in this set, of course, and I'm going to go into the shade Afterlife. This is going to be in my inner corner, very beginning of my upper lid, and the beginning of my lower lash line. And that's it. That's all I did for today's look. I'm really, really enjoying this look. What I'm going to do is hop off camera. I'm going to put my typical black waterline liner from LA Girl in my tight line and my waterline. I'm going to put on my Project Pan mascara, and then I think I am going to go ahead and just throw on some lashes to kind of conclude this look, and then I'll come in so you guys can really see it in its full glory. Alrighty guys, so this is the finished look. So yeah, like I said, this is the second finished look when it comes to this Hallobean palette. As you guys, I'm sure, can tell, I am enjoying the color scheme. I am enjoying the colors, and I can't wait to see what I'm going to do tomorrow. I think tomorrow I'm finally going to use It's Showtime, which is the one shade in this whole palette that I haven't used yet. So it'll be interesting to see what I come up with. So let's just get into look number 3. Alrighty guys, so I'm here to bring you guys look number 3. And as you can see, I've already done my full left eye, and now I'm just going to do the right eye with you. Today I'm actually using using the About Face eyeshadow primer. So that is a new primer. I like to test out different primers with palettes that I know, just to see if they work with kind of all the primers. Anyways, I'm going to be using the 504 brush, same set that I've been talking about this whole video, and I'm going to go into Wicked. And what I'm going to do is really just target this shadow in my outer V, and I'm also going to go ahead and concentrate it on that lower lash line as well. I did this because I really wanted this to be the main shade that people saw in this look. And so if there's a shadow that you want for people to really see after all the blending, after everything, you really want to start with that first, most times. And then what I'm just doing is just blending the outer edge of this area just to make sure that it looks halfway blended. I'm not really concerned with it being overly blended, and I will go back and forth and really kind of doing that in the next little bit. Then what I'm going to do is take the 502 brush, same set, and I'm going to go into It's Showtime. Like I told you guys, I think it was yesterday, I really like how this brush has like a flat side but also a blended head. And so I'm just going to really concentrate this green in this inner corner really, and then I'm going to kind of lightly fluff this outer edge just so that there's a shade out there to blend out that dark green. That is the only purpose of this. It's really just a transition shade in this whole look. Okay, so doing pretty good so far. Then what I'm gonna do is take the flat brush in this set, which is the 505, and I'm gonna play with pretty much all of my favorite shimmers in this palette. So first I'm gonna go into Black Flame. That is going to be kind of my outer half of my lid. Then Woods Borrow is going to be the inner half of my lid, and then I'm going to take Ghoulish on a actual pencil brush, and that's going to go in my inner corner. So I'm just going to do all those steps really quickly. And for this brush, I'm going to use the exact same brush. I'm just going to flip it on the side when I'm ready to switch to a different shade. So that's almost the finished eye look. What I decided is I actually am just going to take a really thin brush. This one happens to be from the Sephora brand, the number 18, and I'm going to go into Wicked and just kind of create a faux liner on my top lash, just to kind of add just a bit of dimension. I just really kind of was feeling it, and I think it really works for this look. Nothing overly complex, quite simple actually, but I just think it adds a little something. I'm just going to put my normal liners in my waterline and my tight line, my normal mascara. Lashes is the same set that I've been wearing this whole video, and then I'll come back to show you guys the finished look. Okay guys, so I turned on my new artificial lights, so hopefully it's not too bad. I just felt like I was super washed out. I don't think I have it perfectly, but they're new, so give me a second. But anyways, let's go in to see the final look. And what I will say is this, I really enjoy this palette. I feel like you guys saw that from the very first look, from the second look, and the third look. I feel like all of these shadows really scream fall in different ways, which I really appreciate. And I love that this is not kind of a copycat of what she did before. They really brought the different textures, the different variety with the two multi-chromes. I absolutely adore those. That's why they're both on my eyes today. You even have this one, which is the more of a dual chrome. And I just feel like overall the shimmers in this palette are slightly less packed, which, don't get me wrong, I have had now two other palettes from this brand, one that is all mattes and the other one that is just the predecessor to this one, and I loved both formulas, but I feel like this shimmer formula is just slightly even better because it's slightly less pressed, and so I was able to really pick it up with my brush, whereas previously I've always felt the need to really use my finger. Never been a problem for me. I don't mind using my finger when it goes to application of my shimmers and metallics and all that jazz, but it is something to note that that to me, this feels slightly less pressed. And so I think you're going to be able to really pick up these shimmers a lot easier with a brush. That said, all of the mattes are really beautiful. Now, if you are somebody of a lighter complexion, like I'm saying, like fair, you're on that fair spectrum, I don't know if this is going to be kind of what people consider an all-around palette, because it's going to pretty much be hard if you're not well versed in blending out mid-tone shades to blend those out to your complexion. For me, of a darker skin complexion, this palette is perfect for me. I don't have any problems blending at all, and I'm not going to sit here and say that these mattes are hard to blend, because they're not. They are very, very pigmented, very blendable. You guys have seen that now in the 3 looks. If you're a fan of my channel, you've seen it in the other 2 reviews that I've done of their other 2 palettes that I have in my collection. So don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that these mattes are hard to blend. I'm just saying that some people just prefer to have like lighter skinned mattes, or just lighter mattes in general, if they are a fair complexion. That said, I think this is a beautiful palette. Very, very happy to have this in my collection. So excited to play with this. I actually really want to try playing with this and her previous palette, which is the It's Frickin' Bats palette. I know she's done a couple of tutorials on her channel, and she, of course, I'm referring to BattyBean. I will have her channel, of course, down below, as well as the brand's website, in the event that you are interested in picking this up on one of their probably numerous restocks. But overall, I'm very happy to have this palette. I knew I was going to be happy. That's why it was an automatic purchase, and I'm so excited that I was able to get the pins. I don't actually remember buying the pins. I feel like I didn't, but somehow they ended up in my package, and I'm very happy to have them. I can't wait to kind of figure out where I'm going to display them, because I do have quite a few pins from now makeup, and then also my book boxes that I don't want to just go to waste. I want to display them somehow. But anyways, if you're interested in any products that are on my face that I haven't kind of highlighted, check out down below. I will have as much as I can remember down there in the description box. And yeah, if you have any questions at all, feel free to ask me. But I hope this video was helpful, giving you guys the swatches, the comparisons, giving you guys the tutorials, the background information, all of that. So yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.